Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, coming at you live, talking about episode 7 of Net-Juu no Susume. And Yuta was almost getting on my nerves in this episode, following on from the thing that was really getting nerve-wracking in the previous episode, where he's dialing himself back from his interest in Moriko, thinking, Kowai is maybe the better guy. Maybe she's setting her sights on him, and so I'm gonna let my buddy take it. My better looking friend, my cooler friend, my funnier friend. This is something I find highly relatable. I've been through this scenario a couple of times in my life where I let my own discouragement and anxieties and self-consciousness get in the way of my, trying to follow through with somebody I was interested in. And, in one particular instance, a classmate of mine who I had at one time been friends with made us sort of swoop in. And in another complete instance, it was somebody who I thought was very much my friend and kind of abused the relationship and went behind my back and everything like that. And I don't think that's what Kowai is doing. I think he's having fun with the scenario. I don't think he's actively trying to pursue Moriko. I think there is an interest on his part, but I think it is, sort of taking the back seat to trying to figure her out and figure out a way to put her and Yuta together. Where Yuta is like, well, the time they're spending together, that must mean they're hitting it off, so I'm just going to back out altogether, all told. And we really get inside of his mind, his perspective on things, the reason for his reluctance and the reason for his backing off of even, logging into the MMO. I mean, he likes the anonymity. He likes being a faceless, sort of just, he can be free in a sense with that anonymity, this, faceless denizen who can interact with other people and it's sort of the same thing that Moriko was looking for and the satisfaction she gets out of being online and pretending to be someone else. Everything like that. You can give yourself a level of bravado, a level of courage. You can be more free with how you'll, talk about things, language you'll use, whatever like that, because you don't have to worry about the judgment. And these are characters that are very much consumed, self-consumed with any kind of judgmental, reaction to them. And Yuta, they are very much, I've been saying this from the get-go, but they are very much, Yuta and Moriko, cut from the same cloth. They're both seeking a level of refuge online. And suddenly, Yuta has to deal with all of this drama because he's figured out that Hayashi is Moriko, and how do I behave around him/her, with that in mind. And it very much answered to a speculative point that I've been touching upon again and again, that I had assumed we would find that the two characters, Moriko from a previous MMO, and some of the flashbacks we've gotten hints and whispers of Yuta's past in a former MMO that isn't the one they're in now, that we were going to find, they actually knew each other all the way back then already, And it seems like the tipping of the hat to that being true, that being the case, is going on full effect in this episode. Between Moriko's creating a new character to sort of welcome Kowai into the game. And I had said, I'm on record as saying I didn't expect Kowai to actually take an active interest in the MMO and want to start playing it. A few people did say they thought that's where it was going to go in the comments and everything like that. And you guys called it thoroughly. Credit where credit is due. A couple of you guys speculated that he might get involved in the game playing. And he certainly did. When you see the avatar, the female, this sort of muscle-bound, avatar he creates, this Amazonian, it is hilarious. And I thought it was interesting that Kanbei actually puts two and two together. Looking at the character, somehow he figures out, that's that guy from the convenience store, Kowai. you know. And I don't know, you kind of get the barest perception, you know, the barest hint that maybe he can perceive the blue-haired, you know, new version of this character, this new character that seems to be old hat, but otherwise looks new, might be Moriko. I don't know. It seemed like he was just barely suspicious to that effect. And that's, wow, he is mad perceptive to pick up on that. I don't think, you know, looking at the character, I don't get Kowai at all necessarily. The way the character acts, yes, but not the way the character looks. And I felt they were more so saying Kanbei was picking up, oh, that's that guy, you know, more so with the way the character looked, not so much the way the character was acting. Arguably so. But with that character, Moriko creates that, you know, the cerulean blue hair and the white and everything like that. Very much looking sort of similar to the Undyne Asuna from SAO, which is my favorite version of Asuna, and I have a figure up somewhere. I'm sure I did a figure video of that particular piece when I got it. With the blue hair and the white, you know, very much looking like the way this character Moriko has created, and it's something that called back to her past. You know, she deliberately calls back on it. We see flashbacks. This character was molded as an homage to the former MMO she was a part of, and so of course with Yuta getting that email with the photo of the character and Kowai sort of brandishing that, you know, like braggart style, you know, everything like that, like, this is her, I'm in the game now and everything, leaving Yuta to wonder, oh, did she invite him as part of, because they're hitting it off and everything. But when he sees that, that's what triggers his flashback to that former MMO where we see a sort of younger version of the same character design. And I got the impression by the end of the episode that Yuta's gonna sign back in, but it looked like maybe he was going to create a character based on his former character in the former MMO. And that just signaled all kinds of intrigue to me. Like, here they are, Moriko and Yuta. They've known each other for far longer than they can even imagine. And the awkwardness and all the drama and the conflict that Yuta had to deal with now as Lily, going up against Hayashi and knowing that's Moriko and everything like that. You know, he wants so much to break away from it, but he can't let go because it's her and he has an interest, and he's so much in denial about that. So then finally the other leg drops by the end, and when he sees this character creation that harkens back to the friend of his of old that was Moriko, you know, I think he's going to sign in deliberately with a character that conforms to the same design and specs, overall look as his former character, and that's gonna be what bridges them together. Because I've been wondering for the longest time, and this episode was really riding the rails of this question, this quandary I had overhanging my head. How are they ever going to figure out who is whom? You know, I mean, Yuta already knows that Hayashi is Moriko, but how is the other leg ever going to drop? How is she ever going to piece together that Lily is him? And by going this route, by her creating a new character that harkens back to an older game where they knew each other, just as well as they know each other sort of offline and everything like that, that is sort of a pitch-perfect way to bring it full circle. If they met as those two original creations and they sort of have gotten to know each other online in the MMO, they're getting to know each other offline, now bring it full circle by having him sign in with a character based on the original character. And then they'll really find each other, you know? And I've been wondering how Moriko would react if she is exposed to the fact that Lily all along has been Yuta. Would she feel estranged, betrayed, or welcoming and sort of, you know, like that infatuation and that curiosity and that rapport and that love, that interest she has in Lily, would that all come full circle? Or, like I say, would it push her away? By doing it this way, you remove that entirely, you know, and it kind of becomes an afterthought where they hit it off in the game and they realize who they are to each other and who they've been to each other. And oh, by the way, I'm the guy who clocked you in the face with the elbow. And it could be all kinds of intriguing, that with them both conforming to their original character designs in the original MMO they both, you know, found each other in. And so that's what I'm waiting for. You know, that's what I really want to see. I want to see them align. I want to see them figure out who they are to each other mutually, not just one-sided, you know, that kind of thing. And I mean, there is the barest hint of what is Kowai up to. I know a lot of you guys are echoing my earliest sentiments where I was concerned about his interest in Motoko. Is he trying to actively pursue her? Is he trying to challenge Yuta in some way? Or was he trying to be a broski and you know, do some of the work, lighten some of the load for Yuta to get he and Motoko together? And it could still kind of go either way. I know a few of you guys have said where I've been dialing it back and thinking, okay, he is actually trying to get them together. He is trying to like hook them up and help them along. You know, a few of you have said, well, now we're kind of getting concerned, like what is his interest? And I'm kind of back to that. I'm kind of like, is he actually actively trying to hook himself up with her in the absence of Yuta? Is he still just, maybe he's just trying to be friendly, you know, trying to be like the connecting friend between them both. If I can befriend her and get to know her, I can figure out a better way to put her and Yuta together. Maybe that's what his motivation is. I don't know. You know, he's a little skeezy at times. But yeah, overall, I mean, getting inside the mind of Yuta and seeing that there is reluctance, that he is dialing himself back, I can understand it because I've been there. I felt like the other guy's probably better for her, you know? And as sad sack as that is, and of course it becomes a regret later on, and then of course I'm at the point in my life now where I'm like, well, I don't want to go back and change it because I change who I am now and all that kind of stuff. You know, you learn from those mistakes. But I definitely made those same kind of mistakes. It's a very realistic tack that Yuta is on, you know, that he embodies in feeling like the other guy is the better guy and I don't have as much of a chance. So why put any effort into it? I'll just say F it, you know. And it is frustrating, but it is relatable. And it's probably that much more frustrating because of how relatable it is. So I'm really curious to see where we go from here. And what Motoko's reaction is going to be when, if it proves true that he logs in with a character based on the design of the character he had in the former MMO, trying to reach her, trying to connect with her on that level, or reconnect with her in a lot of ways. I can't wait to see how she reacts to that, and I can't wait to see how exactly it plays out, whether for better or worse, whether it'll push her away or you know, suck her closer to him, and, you know, eventually if she might find out that he is Lily and all that stuff, will she feel like she was manipulated or betrayed? Will she feel like relief and, oh my God, it was you all along, I'm so grateful, you know? It remains to be seen, and it's all kinds of intriguing. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of episode 7 of Net-Juu no Susume, if you've seen it as well. If you share my sort of dual, you know, frustration but relatability with Yuta's backing off of Motoko, do you want him to just charge forward and you know, push past Kowai and get in there? Do you think, like I do, that by the end of the episode he is going to try it his own way by conforming a character design based on his former MMO character design that she will recognize as he recognized her new character design? And do you think that'll align them or push them more divisively apart? You know, let me know that in the comments below. Love it or hate it, anything goes. Just love having that conversation. Otherwise, it'll be pretty much it for me on this. If this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.